Hello and welcome to another edition of XFeed. My name is The Schiller. If this is your first time checking it out, we cover a whole bunch of stuff regarding news in the blockchain space. And today, the headline of the day, the Nelk Boys NFT project MetaCard is being compared to Cryptoz. Buyers are questioning what happened to the 23 million raised due to a wide range of failed promises. Now, the funny thing about this is it's posted by Dexerto, all right? Then when you look up Nelk Boys NFT on Google, you have Dexerto, February of 2022, to headline how to get Nelk Boys full send MetaCard NFT. So they're explaining how to get it, and then they go into today where they're saying that it is a scam. So again, all this stuff's really all about headlines, but let's actually look at the collection. It's done 17,000 Ethereum in total volume. The floor price is currently 0.215 ETH. If anybody's tuned in right now and they're not really familiar with the price of that, it's about $500. And from what I remember back when it launched is that they were going to launch some of these like exclusive gyms that people were going to be able to access. And luckily, NFT Evening, shout out them, they put out a article way back when about everything you need to know regarding the MetaCard. So it's 10,000 NFTs. The full send MetaCard, just so you know, if you're not aware, the Nelk Boys are a Canadian YouTube group, and they've created an NFT collection called Full Send MetaCard. The 10,000 NFTs, and they're meant around their famous catchphrases and merchandise. It didn't look like anything on that previously had anything to do with like their slogans and whatnot, right? Like it literally looked like a spinning card. So I don't know what that's about. But at the time, they raised 23 million and they charged 0.37 Ethereum. Now, I don't know comparatively to the price. It might be kind of similar because Ethereum might have been lower back then because the floor price we just looked at was about 0.21, and so they sold for 0.37. But again, that's kind of neither here nor there. But as we go down here, they did have collaborations, apparently with Bored Ape Yacht Club that I don't remember at all. But they created a unique full send X Bored Ape NFT by combining elements of both projects for their collaboration. Apparently only 50 of them exist, and then Alien Friends as well. And I guess that was about their Happy Dad aspect, but it doesn't even mention the gym aspect within this, but either way, okay. So there's, I guess, a little bit of an update regarding that. Wyatt, what's going on? Good morning. Didn't the Nelk Boys scam people forever ago, or is this a new one? No, this is a super old one. This is a super old one. But the reason why I wanted to bring that up is obviously it's going to get a whole bunch of clicks, and that's kind of the aspect that we're going to see, right? Is when these people that have a huge following or are widely known have some kind of connection to the NFT space. We'll get to a famous former NBA superstar that just launched an NFT, and that's going very interestingly. But I mean, for example, here's Kai Cenat, and within this, it looked like he got shipped one of the LaMelo Ball shoes. And if you don't know, Gutter Cat Gang had a collaboration with LaMelo Ball where you could buy these NFTs, and then he got shipped this exclusive pair of shoes. And then immediately afterwards, they launched like a different pair of shoes, which was the exact same, except for the coloring pattern was a little bit different. So it's all really, really weird in the space right now. Now, speaking of weird, this takes the cake for the craziest story over the weekend. If you have family that even remotely cares about what you do within the blockchain space, send them this video because they are going to die laughing. An online pastor was charged in CO for a $1.3 million crypto scam. He's released a 9-minute long video explaining that the Lord told him to sell a cryptocurrency with no clear exit and spend some of the proceeds on a home remodel the Lord told us to do. Here's a supercut. Okay, get ready for a show.
Are being charged in a civil charge from the Colorado Securities and Exchange Commission for basically selling millions of dollars worth of cryptocurrency that is deemed worthless by the state. Now, the reason that they're saying that it's worthless is because there is no exit for people who have bought. We launched an exchange, the exchange technology failed, things went downhill, and from that point forward, we've just been waiting on the Lord literally for a miracle. So the charges are that Caitlin and I pocketed $1.3 million, and I just want to come out and say that those charges are true. So there's been $1.3 million that's been taken out of, I think it was a total of $3.4 million. But out of that 1.3, $500,000 went to the IRS, and a few $100,000 went to a home remodel that the Lord told us to do. So how this whole thing started is the Lord told us in 21 to walk away from our marketing company. And he said, I'm going to do a new thing. And then he took us into this cryptocurrency. It was a different cryptocurrency other than index coin at the time. Well, that cryptocurrency turned out to be a scam. And so the Lord says, give that to them, but also give them a 10x. And I'm like, well, where's this liquidity going to come from? And the Lord says, trust me. Well, as money is coming in, we would be sowing it. And at first it was hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars, then tens of thousands of dollars. Money would come in, we tithe, we sow, more money would come in. And so we were just always under the impression that God was going to provide, that the source was never ending, that God was doing a new thing, and that we had nothing to worry about. And we sold a cryptocurrency with no clear exit. We did. We took God at his word and sold a cryptocurrency with no clear exit. And so the prosecutors have to take that and say, these people willingly sold a cryptocurrency with no clear exit. What we're praying for and what we're believing for still is that God is going to do a miracle. God is going to work a miracle in the financial sector. Caitlin and I are being charged in a...
What? I mean, listen, we've had the stories of like the founders immediately dying afterwards, right? That's kind of like a meme where like a collection launches, then immediately the team does an at everybody announcement. And they're like, sorry guys, the dev died. They got run over by a car. Some stupid outlandish thing. But that I have never seen before. Patch, what's going on, brother? When marketing, apparently he took it for the word. I mean, that was probably the most outlandish thing we've seen. But listen, we go from some craziness to some here. Listen, this is some really good life advice or things that this person found at 36. It's got 5.2 million views. Going to go super quick over this, and then we'll get back to the regularly scheduled podcast show, whatever you want to call it. The only partner you should look for is the one that aligns with your values. The only audience you should look for is the one that aligns with your interests. Hello, Root Network. Being attractive in business and in life is within your control. True, that's why we're going to the gym. Drewy, ask for what you want. Please like this video. Tell people you appreciate them often. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. You're fantastic. Show your personality. Wag me. Drive in sports mode. I have no idea what the hell that means. Don't get a ticket. Bank a year's living expense as fast as you can. Your outcomes are bound by your appetite for risk. Run your career like a business. Charge more for your work every year. Listen, if you want a partnership, let me know. The price is going up 50%. I'm just kidding. Save your best hours for creative work. Meetings before and after work only. If you want a stressful life, schedule everything. All right, cool. That's a quick little touch. There we go. All right. FTX sold about 1 billion of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF, explaining much of the outflow. Okay, hold on a sec. Hold on a second. So you're telling me that the entire crypto cascade that we just saw was because $1 billion flowed out. BTC's price has fallen since Bitcoin's ETFs were approved. In theory, now that FTX is done selling its substantial holdings, okay, so we have Grayscale and FTX. FTX is apparently done selling now. The selling pressure could ease since a bankruptcy estate liquidating holdings is a relatively unique event. What? Okay. When moon, baby. Here we go. Okay. Look at this. We talked about it the other day. And what my favorite thing, I have to totally admit to you here, my favorite thing about doing the show is we talk about what I see on my timeline. Okay. And we talked about Quirky's last week, and I was like, hey, they have this new drink company. They're partnering with Board Brewing. And then we went over and I kind of memed it, to be honest, where this person was like, here is why the collection is doing well. And it was like super generic points, right? But as we see here, apparently somebody is going out and sweeping, and we're getting to more sweeps, as I've been saying, wag me the entire time, because the bull run is absolutely here. People have faded the hell out of NFTs, and they're coming back with a passion. So Quirky's here. Again, the start of the year, they're down here. This is like half the NFT marketplace. Now we're absolutely zooming. Okay, I got tagged and stuff. Guys, if you want to tag me and stuff, feel right, go ahead. I don't care. I'll check it out, typically, unless it looks fishy. Anywho, truth here, as a Counter-Strike fan for over 20 years, I absolutely love FPS games, and so looking forward to this. So This is something that's a collaboration between two different things. It's a Genesis mint. Why do we have to follow like 3 different collections? I don't know. I hate these things. Listen, if you're gonna do some like and tag, don't be like follow a single account. I'm not following 3. But does that look cool? I don't know. It looked kind of glitchy. To be honest, Truth, if you're watching this, absolutely love you, pal. Okay, Treeverse reveals a big announcement set for tomorrow featuring the chain question marks, and this is from today. Notice. All these bookmarks are over the weekend and including this morning, but it looks like Treeverse is going to make an announcement. Goes back to the theory of everybody was waiting to launch until the markets picked up a little bit. Yo, marketing, I love that you enjoyed that last little bit. I made some ether off Quirkies in the bull. Well, listen, if you held on to them, you maybe could have made more or less. I don't know. Is Quirkies lower or higher than what it was? That is the question. Magic Eden just announced a new rewards program. The marketplace wars continue. Global release of its cross-chain wallet. We have the wallet wars going on as well. We've been talking a little bit about Ronin recently. Commitment to open source and contribute NFT trading and minting protocols to non-fungible DAO. Have to admit, no idea what the hell non-fungible DAO is. Developing and driving adoption of protocols that will power the future of NFT commerce. Oh, look, everybody's trying to do things within NFTs. This is fantastic. Not going to go over all the details, but the real big thing here is that rewards program. Does Magic Eden now get the connotation that Blur does if there is some kind of farming mechanism? I feel like Magic Eden, in the eyes of many, they like it. I mean, even Blur, I feel like people say, oh, I don't like Blur because of this, that, but then they use Blur. You know what I mean? I don't really use Magic Eden. But the things shake up a little bit here, potentially. Open sea in shambles. All right, stop trading and believe in something. Okay, I did. Remember when I bought like 23 LaMelo Balls? If you forget, listen, just in case, the off chance that you forget of the early NBA Top Shot days, this was LaMelo's dad. You know LeVar Ball? Hopefully this works. This is before the time that you could see how many people like engaged with it, if that makes sense, where now you can see this. I mean, listen, is this broken? We'll refresh. I'm not going to kill myself trying to play this, but hopefully it goes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 7.5, 7 3/4. Hopefully that's the right nomination. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What? Okay, it's not playing, but anyway, I put a whole lot into this. I was super high on LaMelo, and I thought that it was going to be the bee's knees, and it was. Listen, it was. I said, hey, listen, I believe in this. I think Top Shot's going to have a boom, and holy sweet sugar shit, we went flying. And then people bought the top at $6,400. And now the current low ask is $279. Now, when I got them, I'm pretty sure that it was around like 50 to like $80. Yo, best days ever. Truey. Yellow Hammer Buds. Truey. But that goes to show how we have this. And I saw a clip on my timeline the other day where people were talking about NFTs, and they were saying that it's like a cycle. It's not necessarily like a fad, but we should view NFTs as a cycle, and that aspect is interesting to me. Do we ever see LaMelo Ball go back to $6,400? I don't freaking know. Maybe. But again, true, I like the idea of having conviction in something instead of trading nonstop. Now, with that said, let's talk about crazy hype that's happened. If you guys remember this ECOS Genesis, this was a thing that at a point during the bear market, because I'm pretty sure that it launched during that, everyone was going on about it. It was literally all over my timeline. We saw Cosmo Di Medicini here, I guess, buying a thing recently. I don't know if I can find like their sales prices in the past here right quick. Oh, kind of, not really. Yes, full collection here, LinkedIn. So 0.53 ETH, that's still holding up massively. But at a point, I mean, these were going for 3.3 ETH. The interest, it was all over my timeline. People couldn't get enough of it. Now, I literally don't see it at all. And it was super hyped up before like the reveal, I believe, because it had some big partnerships and whatnot behind it. But either way, realize what like social currency is, because I like that term. Somebody used that on me once, and I was like, yeah, like I feel like NFTs have the social currency. And that's where we have to kind of pay attention, because like, is it social currency, or is there actually something that's there for that? Yo, Bill Green, what's going on, brother? Those cool cats were not under $100. Wait, hold on. the triangle here, more than, less than. That's one thing. I understand the three theirs. You know how you spell there with an E-R-E-E-I-R, and then like with the bracket R-E. I get that. The comma of greater than, less than, I understand that I'm an adult. I still struggle with it. That's crazy. Yeah, Snazzy, listen. I try, okay? Look at this. This is mental. Not the fact that I don't know the greater than, less than, the fact that we can see these punks and what the prices were back in the day. So at 7 ETH, well, imagine when 7 ETH was 17K. Now 7 ETH is just, oh my goodness. For some of these other ones here, I mean, you could have bought a hoodie for $2,000 for point. Imagine getting a hoodie punk for 0.7. That's disgusting. What? You could get a zombie for 9.95 or 25K. Now those go for like several mil. It's crazy. It's wild. NFTs, wag me. Okay, biggest mistake the Gutter Cat gang ever made was making this account on top of clones. So if you don't know, Gutter Cat gang had all the hype in the world once they launched this, because this was shortly after Bored Ape Yacht Club launched their token. Now, there's been a lot of accusations of, oh, Bored Apes minted out and then Gutter Cats came out and they were riding the hype of that. We'll get into something in a second to kind of show like there was a lot of mints that happened around that time that were really popular. But Gangcoin is an ERC20 governance and utility token that empowers a decentralized community of creators and collectors at the forefront of Web3 culture, coming soon. Then they shortly announced after that they're going to can it because legal risks, yada, yada, yada. And that kind of started the cascade of Gutter Cat gang going to the moon and then kind of violently falling off. And I think some of the concerns with it was, okay, how come the team didn't realize that? Why did they start making these announcements? Like it didn't really roll, but I thought that was crazy. Now, I'm not going to do this entire thread read, okay? We did this once before, and it was like literally 70 tweets. I swore I'd never do it again. We're going to read like 5 of these, okay? So bear with me. Why 2030? 2 years ago, I said you're insufficiently bullish about NFTs, which of course is true. Also, there was a 2030 in the title. The thread explained a lot of things, but not why 2030. Today, I will explain. First, let's get out of the way the new NFTs protection. NFTs as a technology, making it does not mean your specific NFTs are going to make it. If this is not obvious to you, read all these tweet storms first. Now back to the future. My view is that by 2030, 3 separate factors will have matured to the point where NFTs will be obvious and inevitable. To give falsifiable predictions for 2030, 100 million people own an NFT and 1 trillion plus market cap. Listen, that's all we need to know. Wag me, brother. Yo, so I was in a space, we're going to get to say in a little bit, because I did a space for like this upcoming project, and they had a couple people from the Say network and the entire community there. And the one guy said, we don't really say wag me. And I was sitting there, I was like, man, I want to unmute and say wag me, but I can't. But it's funny though, because it is like a cultural thing where some people say it, some people think it's stupid, others think it's cringe, yeah, and the list goes on. Now, for the Futureverse fans, hands up in the air, high here, okay? Are we here? Present, say aye. Third Kingdom white paper coming together nicely from Captain McDonald. Can't wait to share with you all. For those who ask when, take a look at the chapter titles for one element of the world design. Now, some of you are thinking, when the hell did this tweet happen? And this was back in January 9th of 2023. So literally over a year ago, this was posted, and we have nothing regarding the Third Kingdom white paper. With that said, they made an announcement saying, hey, we have these big partnerships and things that like caused it to be delayed. And obviously the Ready Player One partnership, we believe, is the reason for that. However, the tweet highlights the interoperable resource system contains features such as resource management, material distribution, material collection, refinement process, crafting process, material creation, refined material creation, item creation, item modification, recipes, validations, incentives, royalties, trading, and swapping. No shit, people don't want to learn about Futureverse. Look at all the things for the one thing that's not even out yet. But that shows that the depth that's going into this, and I think that it is going to be relatively exciting once we see Metaverse come into action. Okay, so I find this kind of funny, and I don't know if you guys have noticed it for anyone that is no longer a part of a team, but I go through through my follow list occasionally, and I'm like, okay, do these people tweet anything that I look at? Half of them I don't really ever engage with, or vice versa. I mean, yada, yada, yada. So again, always let me know if you're watching. But this person was working for Cool Cats, put out, today is my last day leading the Cool Cats business and team. This past year has been a rewarding experience. It was an honor to work alongside Klon and the talented team committed to the mission. Okay, so it's got like 3,000 followers. And then their last tweet was like November saying, well done to the cats. And that's it. The account's just dead. So is it going to be a meta where when somebody joins a collection of magnitude, they scrap their original Twitter profile, X profile, and they make a new one? Maybe. Where the hell is Chief Cool Cat today? So I've seen Exterio brought up a whole bunch, and I still feel like I'm not really familiar with it. I think that we brought it up before, but it seems like all of a sudden, all these collections are making announcements saying, hey, we're partnered with Exterio. So they're powering the future of AI and Web3, 55 million plus VC backed. I don't know if we still are scary at all about VC backed, but you might not be holding anything here. Incoming catalyst, and then they have some co-founders here. So quick little glance at the site. See what we got. Age of Dino. So that's a part of it. That was a recent mint that did extremely well. Overworld, TT, Paleo. I've seen that kind of out and about around. We have Play Ember. That's been mentioned a few times before. The BNB chain, they have Matic. Listen, a little bit of interoperability in here. But again, pretty crazy that I feel like everybody's talking about this. And, you know, when you check out a site, do you think that this is a $55 million back thing? Does it have the looks that you're looking for? But either way, almost 200,000 followers. We'll see what makes of it. Okay, so Crypto Undeads. Everyone talking about it. You might have liked the art. You might have hated it. You probably fudded it a little bit. Hell yeah if you did. Hell yeah if you didn't. But the founder of that is saying, I'm working on an important tool for Solana NFTs. Staking for utility is the new meta. So my problem with some of the new mints that come out is that I really hope that they decipher, hey, this is a collection that is supposed to be more of a collectible. And then the ones that have some sort of utility or are trying to enhance the technology, the protocol like this is talked about, because I feel like I would have had a different connotation to, you know, my reactions to the Crypto Undead being like, okay, like I think this collection is just about, you know, pixel art, so we can like judge it based off of that or whatever, which I mean, who the hell am I to judge for pixel art? You should see my art. Gary V couldn't even come close to mine in like a bad way, Keck. But still, if these collections are having some kind of an extra utility that has something to it, I think that should be mentioned like from day one. Now, people say that we're going into a recession, but this collectibles guru guy is highlighting that a Brock Purdy card that's a cardboard thing that was a 2022 Prism Block Purdy Black Finite 1 sold for $125,000 US. Listen, do you want $125,000 US or a graded 10 Brock Purdy card? That's a one of one. Okay, listen, respectfully, I'm taking 100 and whatever X amount of money. All right, today at 4 p.m., I do believe, 4 p.m. Eastern, David and Nisa are coming on Root Radio. So if you guys are wanting to tune into that, if you have notifications on for my Twitter, it probably pops up when I do that. I don't know. I've had some things where people that I follow, I get notified when they're on Twitter Spaces. X is like that. So either way, if you guys are wanting to tune in, we'll talk a little bit about Futureverse, what Bean AI is. There's a lot of conversations about David's involvement with that. We will try to dig up the info that we can for you guys. Okay. Now, speaking of Futureverse and all that, if you didn't know, Cool Cats have a partnership with Futureverse. It's been a little, a little bit of a hold on, what the hell is going on after a recent announcement from Immutable X saying that they are launching a game with Cool Cats where the Futureverse community, it's a part of Root Network, is like, what? Yeah, we have a partnership with Cool Cats. Why are you going with Immutable X and not on the Root Network? And shout out to Mr. Bildo Verde, because he asked within their Discord and they said that the partnership with Immutable was inked before Futureverse was ever involved. So that plays a part. But with that said, 47 Cool Cat sweep, 39 ETH, which is like a Bored Ape and a half, or $100,000. So the theme, if you're a consistent watcher of the X feed streams here, and again, go check out my live feed or just the media page. If you're on X or Twitch, just, you know how Twitch works. You'll see that we highlight these massive sales because the liquidity is starting to absolutely rush to NFTs. So be patient. If you have things that you think other people are actually going to want, that are actually working on something, that actually have funding, that actually aren't the new mint, okay, dude. I think there's going to be a huge wave of interest for these older NFTs, and why I had such a backlash when people were making these statements saying, like old NFTs are going to die hard. It's like, okay, some of them have already, like, that's happened. For anything that's still around, there's a likely chance it's going to come back and potentially come back with a vengeance. This is from the Axie Infinity founder, and I thought this was crazy. Yo, McLovin, what's going on, brother? McLovin, the best name that we got in here. Ron has broken into the top 100 on both CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, which is the Ronin network that Axie Infinity is on. All this without listing on the exchanges. Is Ronin really not on any exchanges? It's a testament to the power of this community, and also something that will ensure that the gamers remain the primary beneficiary of this revolution in gaming. I think that this is crazy. Like, I always thought that Ronin Network was like this massive entity, which, I mean, it is, but the fact that it's not on the exchanges, that I actually, like, I would have failed the test if you would have asked me that on a multiple choice question. We talked a little bit earlier about Gutter Cats getting a little bit of a flack because they minted near Bored Apes. But listen, let's look at this. BAYC launched on April of 2021. Penguins launched on July of 2021. Doodles launched on October of 2021. And Izuki launched on January 2022. But again, just a few months difference there. Think of the cluster of when those things minted and what the stature of them is now. Now, obviously, there was a craze, and so we could argue and say that other collections launched along those times could do as well. But they didn't. They simply didn't. These ones are what people gravitated to for the team, for the art, for the vision, whatever it is. These ones have won out, and that just goes to show how many things, if you remember, did mint back there and how many have created. That's kind of, you know, the realization of the NFT world. Class of 2021, baby. Have you started emptying the kitchen sink yet? Yo. Okay, dude, I haven't. I do need to still do that, but let's focus on the show, sir. Okay. Looking at posting this. Okay, I'm going to be the one to say it. Nobody else said it. Are they doing mutants? There's absolutely no way that we see like a mutant way of penguins, right? Because we've had that with almost every collection. Gutter Cat Gang, I mean, Izuki with the elementals, it wasn't like, I mean, it kind of was, but like the extra collections, they already had the little pudgies, mutant apes, mutant hounds. Like, is the mutant thing the big aspect, or does this mean that they're cooking, doing something different, as we highlight from the questions that are asked on here? But something's going on with pudgy penguins, and we will see what that is. All right. $2 million getting put into NFTs. Now, the reminder, people are putting bids. CryptoPunks looking like they were kind of stagnant for quite some time. All of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. We're having a little bit of a water gun fight, and everybody's like, damn it, I didn't buy a punk. Now, if anybody remembers way back in the day, I bought a punk, held it for a week, and then sold it. We do some crazy ass things in here. It wasn't the smartest move ever. Not necessarily, but hey, we live and we learn. So CryptoPunks maybe leading the run here. Now, what's going to lead the run more so is actually you guys, because you're all stubborn idiots, respectfully. We love it. This guy has an offer for $2.4 million US. Now, I want you to think for a second how many orders of Papa John's you could get. I mean, I'm talking you're getting dessert, you're getting an appetizer, you're getting 2-liter bottles of drinks with it for $2.4 million. Listen, that is beyond the lifetime. Like, there is never a day that you don't go hungry, that you don't have the satisfaction of having some Papa John's. You might get sick every once in a while, truly, but people are diamond handing their NFTs left, right, and center, okay? Like, it's crazy. They're just saying, nope, I'm not selling. So, is this everybody? Absolutely not. But this is just kind of a sentiment and a testament to what you really think about the space. Are you bullish enough? Probably not. Looking to get into the Say NFTs and don't know where to begin? You've come to the right place. Okay. I'm going to go over a few Say projects I've been following closely. If you're in ETH or Sol NFTs looking for a breath of fresh air, I strongly suggest giving Say a look. Now, before we go into this, and it's going to be pretty brief, I'm wanting to upload a video as a quick little kind of explainer for Say. I haven't gotten a wallet. I've just kind of seen people talk about it. But the biggest problem that I'm seeing people say with Say is that there's not that much liquidity within the ecosystem. And I mean, okay, cool. So if there is, Apparently, like the total volume or like the market cap for it, say, is at like $1 billion, but they're saying for the NFTs, there's not like a whole lot of liquidity. So apparently, it's Compass Wallet in your Chrome browser or mobile phone. If you're trying to get involved with Say, and there's like an exchange that I highlighted a while ago. I can find it if anybody's really curious for it. But next, create a new wallet and write down your recovery phase. Send your Say or bridge Say to your newly created wallet on Compass. Next, navigate to Pallet Exchange. So Pallet Exchange is like the marketplace for OpenSea, Magic Eden, yada, yada, yada. And WeBump. If you see this, this is basically the people that created the contracts, and they have a launch pad for Say to be able to launch these NFTs. So when you see a partnership with WeBump, that means that it's like, you know, just, I guess, kind of imagine that OpenSea, let's say OpenSea created the open contract for how people originally created NFTs on their storefront. Early days, that's kind of the same concept with WeBump, but I don't think WeBump has like a marketplace per se. All Say NFTs are launched via Lighthouse. Therefore, delisted WeBump holders get many OG and whitelist mint slots. Participating in the WeBump ecosystem is key. From what I've seen and experienced, most members WeBumps pays for themselves within the first week. I think he's saying most memberships pay for themselves, but I think he's just saying like people that are holding the NFTs. And I think these things are what like WeBump actually is, because that's something that I still don't fully understand. Saiyans, you might have seen these. They look like the Dragon Ball Z characters, are builders and genius, I must say. They dove headfirst into NFTs, creating their collection of Saiyans. By doing this, they assembled a dedicated community that can now propel their products straight to the top. Saiyan Swap is the first of these products and is an NFT swap platform. Some huge deals have already happened on it, and I'm excited to use it myself. 50% of the fees generated from Saiyan Swap are returned as Saiyan airdrops to the holders. Now, this thread goes on. If you're wanting to check this out, it's at Willie the DGen. You can find the tweet, go over it, and just pause the video if you go back, and you can see what is going on there. Now, I didn't mean to click that over. Holy shit. What is going on? Now, speaking of liquidity, apparently more things are integrating directly with Say. As we can see, the Cedro Finance, we look at it, it's got almost 100,000 followers, so the liquidity might get solved a little bit sooner than reality. We talk about older collections quite often here. Do you guys remember Psychedelics Anonymous? This is awesome to come to reality. Even only with this, few other projects in all of NFTs can claim to have had as much impact on the world as Psychedelic NFT. Okay, so they had like 4 different NFTs you could buy way back in the day, and this is kind of the first thing that I've seen on my timeline shared of like what they are doing. So again, if you're in a collection out there and they're doing things, just keep yapping about it on X until we see it. The first psychedelic medicine treatment in 50 years takes place in Australia this week. This is a historic moment for people suffering from treatment-resistant mental illness around the world. Together, we are making a difference. This week, the first 2 patients received treatment with psychedelic-assisted therapy as part of the Therapeutic Goods Administration's authorized prescriber program in Melbourne, Australia, with medicines and training supplied through Mind Medicine Australia. This marks the first time patients have received these treatments outside of research in a legal, regulated clinic setting with scheduled psychedelic medicines in over 50 years. This comes after the Therapeutic Goods Administration's landmark decision on February 3rd to reschedule MDMA and psychobilin. I mucked that up, sorry. In Australia, in response to applications lodged by Mind Medicine Australia. Now, I'm trying to read where the thing was because they said right here. Mind Medicine Australia reached out to Psychedelics Anonymous in February 2023 to engage your community and help lodge applications in support of psychedelics as a treatment option for Australians with treatment-resistant mental health challenges. So, again, this is them going out there, being a part of things, and cool that we have like an NFT collection that is, you know, I guess helping to fund, raise awareness, whatever it be. Still really awesome. Okay, question for you. Will Pudgy Penguins flip Bored Apes? The poll is done. However, of 626 votes, 66% said yes. Holy shit, my bags. Pay attention to your CEO/project founders. If every time they speak and you don't hear a burning desire to win, it's probably because they lost the passion to wake up and do what they love every day. Now, this sounds kind of cynical, But I kind of agree with it. Like, there's definitely like a change between when you hear certain founders talk, whether they tweet a lot, whether they don't tweet, whenever you hear from them, it's very, very evident. Now, people could be going through a rut in life because that happens, but I generally agree with this sentiment. Hogwarts Legacy sold 22 million copies, making it last year's best-selling title. Warner aren't slowing down either, with plans to roll out a lot more games. Studios know the numbers. People love her. It's one of the world's best IPs. I can't wait to see it in Readyverse. So again, a lot of the Featureverse community is saying, hey, we're getting all these big IPs. I generally agree with that happening, but the big thing that I keep going on about is that for these bigger IPs, we've seen older ones come into the space and not really succeed with it, like Nickelodeon. Starbucks is doing a great job of it, even though it's a little bit different than like IP per se, as that's more of a brand. But I'm very excited if we do see some of these bigger players that are brought in the correct way, because you have to emphasize on the correct way. Now, if things are brought in on the correct way, well, maybe you could be thinking about you wanting to move to different parts of the world, because you can do that. The most expensive real estate in Brazil isn't on the beaches of Rio de Janeiro. It's on the small towns of Balneário Camboriú, dubbed the Dubai of Brazil. So, hey, listen, things go well, maybe you got to think about moving. You want to go to Brazil? I've been to the beach. It's crazy. Brazil, damn good food too. Now, if you haven't seen, Pal World is something that has taken everything within the gaming space by storm. It is a game that people are dubbing, this looks like Pokemon, but you have kind of a different thing. You capture them. Apparently, there's a Pokemon mod out. They're probably going to get sued to all oblivion. And everybody's making these crazy hot takes of, hey, these guys launched this game. They didn't have as much funding, yada, yada. And I mean, listen, I think it's just about creating like a good game. If these Web3 blockchain-based companies create a good game, people will come, and everybody thinks their game's great, right? Like, that's the awkward part with this, is you ask anybody that has a fully functioning thing out right now, they say, oh, it's the best thing that's out there. And I mean, it could be, but that's also in their view. Does other people see that? If more people play that game, will it get that adoption? There's a chance, but this thing literally came out the other day, and holy hell, it's been all over my timeline. Get ready for a brain melt. We highlighted on Friday the High Chain is doing a node sale. They're saying Hytopia Worlds or NFT Worlds will get first dibs at the Topia nodes when they get released in a few weeks. My 50 worlds should give me the right to buy 50 nodes for about 5 ETH. And my initial reaction to this is, damn. Okay, let's think of your NFT, whether it be a Bored Ape, and you've heard the rumors of them doing like an ape chain, whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. For Futureverse, there's, okay, for these fluffs, what are the extra utility that we're going to get? For Azuki, okay, for these tokens, what's the allocation going to be if they launch all these other things? Do we get free mints for it? But this is kind of a recent thing that we can look at that's getting or will get a lot more attention. For holding this NFT, you're going to be able to get 50 of these nodes for 5 ETH, which is relatively cheap when you're comparing everything. Assuming we tap out at tier 5, the nodes will generate $2.5 thousand a month in node rewards before transaction fees, which will start accumulating as soon as the game is out. That's on top of my World's Topia yield. Total monthly revenue from my Hytopia bag, $20,500. Sheesh, a month. And that's, of course, assuming Topia doesn't move from its current 1 cent price. So obviously, if it goes up, then it's going to be even more. I do not understand why there are still worlds listed below 10 ETH. People are not paying attention at what is happening. So Ev, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say there's 2 collections that really people should be paying attention to. I think with the Featureverse ecosystem, with the root integration, is going to like wow people. And I also think that High Chain here, they've created the hype. They're doing something where they're integrating a variation of Minecraft, kind of like how that Power World, everyone's going, oh my God, it's Pokemon-esque like, and they enjoy the gameplay. You need to have something that's kind of connecting people, that's got that interest. Featureverse, it's got that big IPs. For High Chain here, I need to figure this out because, I mean, I don't even have liquidity or anything, but I think High Chain, with their focus on Minecraft-esque things, it's going to do well. And especially the breakdown here for this, things are looking rather spicy in that one. So again, be sure to be paying attention to it. I don't personally, like, I mean, they're saying I don't see why NFT worlds are still below 10 ETH. I mean, listen, that's a bit royal for my taste, but still kind of cool. Okay, more about Axie here is that they're launching this onboard Axie.org. I'm surprised that we don't see more of this per se. If you're a holder of any of the following collections, you might be eligible to claim a gift Axie. I don't, but I can't click on this. Okay, right away. Listen, we're done. Axie Infinity, what the hell? This is supposed to onboard me. I'm pissed off, and we're off it immediately. Board Jerky. I'm pretty sure this is from the Nelk Boys. That's what we started off the show talking about. But they were at the UFC event in Canada, highlighting their Board Jerky, and I guess one of the leaders in terms of highlighting Bored Ape IP to the masses. Look at this. Valet robot in China efficiently moves illegally parked cars to legal car parks. Imagine this shit was in Toronto, or I mean, even New York. Listen, I don't think you could do that. Look, there's barely anybody around. This thing's moving it. I mean, it's just a car spot, but I feel like you have to get everybody out of the way. You got to have the controller. But the fact that it works and you don't have to do anything. Listen, China is ahead of the game here because this technology, holy goodness. Looks like there's a manual of somebody just going under the car. You know what I mean? The slide. Okay, so we talked about the former NBA superstar getting into NFTs, and that is Dwight Howard. Guys, what is this? If you're like a multi-millionaire, I mean, I'd even argue he has hundreds of millions of dollars unless he lives this lavish lifestyle and spent it all. And you decide, I'm going to launch an NFT. It's going to have experiences. It's going to do all these kind of things. And then it looks like this. There's got to be higher quality people out there because this just looks ridiculous. Yo, Bacon, my brother, how you doing? Like, what? He's got 6.1 million followers. So here we go. I hear you all. New art has been uploaded to the whole mint. So they changed the mint immediately. How the hell do they change the mint that quick? What? Metadata will be refreshed and changed accordingly for the 3,000. On every 100 mints, I will purchase a Dokyo World and will send 10 AVAX between 10 holders till mint out. So I guess he's highlighting this other collection. And he just loaded up in this cocky new. I can't believe I just said that. Guys, what the hell is going on with these celebrities getting into NFTs? This stuff is just weird. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you don't need a daily routine. You can eat when you're hungry. You can sleep when you're tired. You can drop all commitments if a special opportunity comes up, like watching the X feed. Wellness podcasters are just promoting a lifestyle for people who can't make decisions and need a daily to-do list because they would otherwise be addicts or alcoholics. Now, listen, I disagree with this last part pretty vehemently, but with the sentiment of you don't need a daily routine, listen, I mean, we're chilling. That's kind of my thing, you know? You get up, you get going, you do you, baby. People on X have spent over 75 million minutes per day listening to Spaces, the equivalent of 1.25 million hours. Who would have thought that Spaces would have been such a massive driver of engagement, of listens, of everything? Because if you remember, early days, we had the fight between Twitter Spaces and Clubhouse, and now I don't know anybody that uses Clubhouse anymore. But apparently 125 million hours of or 0.25, so that's 1,250,000 hours. I mean, listen, that is crazy. Again, not reading all this thing. We've done it the entire time. I have an alarm. Why do I have an alarm? Why do I have an alarm? Guys, why do I have an alarm set? Oh, no. This is like Neville and the Remember All. Oh, okay. Oh, shit. All right. I'll try to remember why I have an alarm set. Anyway, it's for tomorrow, and I just did it a day early. Okay. Hold on. We're good. We remembered. Why I invested $500,000 in CryptoPunk. A few months ago, I acquired my first NFT, the Autoglyph, number 346. That marked the beginning of my fascinating journey through the world of generative art, an experience I shared in a previous thread. This journey took me to the heart of the NFT universe, the CryptoPunks. Are they digital? Are they collectible? In my opinion, they are a blend of both. Yeah, duh. Yes. Explaining to my friends outside the ecosystem why I invested so much in a .jpeg file has not been easy. However, I found a perfect analogy with the photographs. In today's age, who prints photos? The advantages of owning digital photographs are countless. Portability, durability, yada, 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 yada. CryptoPunks have become a status symbol within the digital ecosystem, similar to how luxury watches represent success in the physical world. Their value goes beyond being mere objects of desire. They are advantageous in multiple aspects. Recently, I tried using an apartment I own as collateral, which turned out to be a bureaucratic and tedious process. In contrast, I obtained loans using my autoglyph and my CryptoPunks with remarkable ease. This discovery is a point of no return. So that's where I'm going to leave that one off. But I do think that the notion here that the NFT finance that we've mentioned a few times is going to be huge, and it's for this exact reason right here. Liquidity will fly thanks to NFTs. The data is skewed because it's not accounting for time spent asleep in spaces. True. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, that's actually a very valid point, but I mean, I don't know how much of it is. When you decide to be the class clown growing up and now the rest of your life desperately hinges on a golden bull run of fake internet money. Truey. I mean, I don't think I was a class clown. The only thing I can remember was pretty egregious is that like I had flip-flops and I put them on backwards so they look like flippers. If you've ever, like how people that go diving, they have those things. And I walked into class after going to the washroom and I yelled out that I'm a penguin. Teacher kicked me out, but absolutely worth it. I think I've met the dumbest person in the entire Web3 space. Of course, it has to be somebody on a Facebook group. These takes you see lately are solely a product of the environment a person surrounds themselves with. So, I mean, a little bit of a personal take on the end there, but I think whenever somebody has like a huge argument or they're like, no, I'm right about this, it's like, they're surrounded by affirmation or like, yes, man, and this and that. And, sometimes it's, you have like actual thoughts breaking out of it, but I do think that it's how you surround it here. So I posted the clip that was of Colin Cowherd comparing Justin Fields, the quarterback of Chicago Bulls, to NFTs, saying, people say there's something there for NFTs and I just don't see it. Insinuating that like Justin Fields is something that he doesn't see it. And this guy responds to that clip saying, why would anybody touch crypto? It doesn't solve any problem. Bitcoin is the only thing that matters. So I say, Bitcoin is crypto. What are you saying? And he says, crypto has become synonymous with shitcoining. Bitcoin is entirely different from everything all of the companies try to scam with. So this lunatic legitimately doesn't think that Bitcoin is crypto. So like, I kind of get the thought process, right? Like, okay, Bitcoin has like this store of value per se, but then like, it also tells me that he's only looked at that. He's not looked at anything else and saying everything else is a scam. But when you look up Bitcoin, it literally is a definition of a cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is the first decentralized cryptocurrency. How in the absolute Swiss piss are you going to say that Bitcoin isn't crypto? That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Now, back to the Say discussion, because I saved the stuff at different points. Should have had this earlier. Apologies. But in comparison, the top NFT sales on Say, $6,820. Okay? We talk about Providence. Some of the early Bitcoin ordinals, people are like, oh my goodness, this is going for so much money. But when you look at an entire blockchain, the top sale, $682,000. I don't even think there's been a sale that big on Root yet, by the way. Just tossing that one out there. When mark upgrade, when anything. And then there was a casual 500 ETH Bored Ape dump on the weekend. Guys, NFT fi. Listen, this is ridiculous. People blur farming, they're trying to get more points, but listen, 500 ETH in Bored Apes, sheesh. And at the same time, the highlight that NFTs are back. We have derivatives that people are suddenly getting into. Cheddar Bob here highlighting this weird penguin type derivative. These always go to zero, by the way. But apparently derivative NFTs can still 1,000x. Ping wings have jumped from 25 cents to 3 Sol, a floor of $270. This would never happen on ETH, and that's why I'm bringing it up. I really think that there is going to be a huge influx of random NFTs and stuff on other chains that aren't ETH, because as soon as ETH gas gets too expensive, which kind of it already is, even at these low things, still paying $20 for a transaction is dumb as shit. I mean, it's crazy, but huge come up for anybody that bought it. 25 cents, went to 270. Or was it insiders, the cabal? Let's talk about Cool Cats. Suzanne. Cool Cats launched on July 1st, 2021 as 9,999 cartoon cat characters. The artwork was originally designed by Cloncast, also known as the cartoonist, known for drawing cats many years prior to the NFT boom in 2021. Ever since Klon was young, his life goal has been to create a character that outlived him. In 2015, he created this timeline image featuring all the characters he had drawn up until then, including a penguin. Among them, Blue Cat stood out and started the Cool Cat's journey. That looks kind of cool. Be able to see it. In May 2021, Klon bought its first NFT, a fattycorn. What the hell is a fattycorn? Goodness gracious. The utility meeting the fattycorn founders Extreme Tom and Linquid. Okay, that's where Extreme Tom came from. In Discord, little did he know that they would soon become co-founders of Cool Cats. In July 2021, they launched Cool Cats. Mint price was 0.06 ETH, but got lowered to 0.02 ETH when the project was struggling to sell. And I think they did that way too early. I think it was like literally like a day or two after they started the mint. They were like, oh, we have to sell out or the project's dead. By October 2021, Cool Cats had skyrocketed to an average price of nearly 26 ETH per NFT. Imagine holding NFTs that were at 26 ETH and then seeing what the market did. Oh my God. And I can say that because don't worry, I held apes and they're like 150 ETH, by the way, which was roughly $93,000 each at the time. Jeez. Each cat has different traits and a specific tier. Some of the more popular traits include custom frog hats, TV faces, tiger shirts, and fire halos. Tigers range from cool 1 to exotic 2. Those exotic 2s were going for a hell of a lot of money. In addition, there are 9 one-of-one cool cats, of which the upside down cat is the most famous one, as popularized by Andrew. Following the success of Bored Apes, Cool Cat holders were eagerly demanding utility. The team developed a captivating storytelling game, Cooltopia. Finally, in mid-April 2022, the highly anticipated launch of Cooltopia took place exclusively for Cool Cats and pet holders. Cooltopia was designed to be a gamified mint experience. Essentially, every Cool Cat received an egg and had to play the game to hatch it by earning Nelk token. Players could purchase food to help their little creature evolve into a water, air, fire, or grass element cool pet. And so this is the notion of everybody getting hyped up on Pokemon references across the board, because that was the selling point. Oh my God, Cool Cats is doing their version of Pokemon. In Cooltopia, Cool Cats and Cool Pet owners could complete quests to earn Nelk token, the collection's official token. Cool Cats could earn passive income in Nelk just by holding their NFT. The game didn't catch on and the token lost its value. It was terminated in July of 2023. The token was also launched on Polygon. And so there wasn't like a whole lot of interest within Polygon. I mean, it was kind of like a back and forth. Zedrun was on there. There was like, okay, if you need to do something that doesn't involve gas, did that have a huge part to play? Not necessarily, but worth mentioning. In early 23, Cool Cats initiated a brand redesign, becoming a renowned global storytelling and character brand. Cat/pet holders received airdrop fractures NFTs that resembled the portal they were pulled into. Later, these could be burned into shadow wolves. At the same time, journeys were launched in which holders could complete weekly quests, earn points, and receive rewards at the end of every season. For Season 1, for instance, the more points you earn, the rarer shadow wolf you would get out of your fracture. The storytelling journey was soon accompanied by an upgrade of the Cool Pets sidekicks. Sidekicks introduced 3 new characters, namely Milo, Sage, and Bones, who join the main characters Blue and Chugs. In addition, Cool Cats introduced their avatar system, a one-stop shop that allows holders and newcomers to update, dress up, and reimagine their Cool Cats assets in entirely new ways. A major brand, of course, also needs their own merchandise. Cool Cats have always been a pioneer in making merch available to their holders and fans, and I have a Cool Cat sweater in the closet. Fun fact, Cool Cats made history by becoming the first digitally native brand to have its own balloon in Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The parade reached over 28.5 million TV viewers and had 3 million in-person attendees. Cool Cats remain one of the most iconic storytelling NFTs, and the team keeps building, as shown by the recent released Milk Chug short series featuring Blue Cat, Chugs, Joe, and Artie in various adventures, starting with a coffee-making competition. As a longtime fan of Cool Cats, I take great pride in owning one of the most stunning tiger cats in my own biased view. The Cool Cats community is one of the most welcoming, kind, and humorous communities out there. Thank you, and Reveal, for reading my draft. So, there's your story about Cool Cats. Shout out to Suzanne NFTs there if you wanted to give them a follow. That was a fantastic thread. Now, as we wrap up today's X feed, I would like to remind you, if you've enjoyed this so far, please smack that like button on whatever platform you're at. If you're not subscribing, then please do so. And if you do have one friend that you talk about the space every once in a while with, please send them a link and say, hey, you might enjoy what Schiller's got to say. Security concern, 32 million stolen by 1,200 programmably created ERC20 token rug pulls in less than a year, all by the same group. Bad actors are out there. Pay attention. Don't click on emails. Don't click on links. Always double check. Make sure when you're on X profiles that there's people that are also following it, that it's not a scam. Never read the comments, all that good stuff. Try to practice best wallet hygiene where you can. That's going to be it for this edition of X Feed. Thanks so much for tuning in. At 4 p.m., there's Root Radio if you're wanting to check that out. Again, throw notifications on for me on X if you're wanting to see that. But thanks so much, and I will see you tomorrow.